Alright YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we actually finalized our Altergeist deck for Master Duel. So one key thing about this, I really thought that this deck would like pop off, but you know, with the current format for Master Duel being a ton of hand traps with most of the decks, especially with Snake Eyes, this deck struggles a bit. Well, not really a bit, it struggles really hard with the current meta. I think if it's not like Snake Eyes format, this deck would like actually be really good. But yeah, the only problem with this deck is a ton of hand traps. That's gonna be a really big issue. Like Imper, Maxis, and Ash Blossoms, that's usually, or even Effect Baiters, that's usually the problem there. We managed to settle with a 40 card deck. I had some previous versions where I was running 43, 44, but so far so good. 40 cards are just the right ratios for the deck, with of course lessening the number of Pokeries, the copy of Silcoidus, and I think that's basically it. Protocol or even a copy of spoofing, you can either run 2 copies of protocol or 2 copies of spoofing, but I do prefer just going with spoofing since it will just recycle back your Altergeist card and get the other one that you really need. Now technically I don't know how to like maneuver this deck, but there is like a simple line that you can go into which you can just follow if ever you have the right cards on hand. That's basically it. 3 copies of Multifaker, really good card as long as you activate a trap card, especially if you use the effect of spoofing to add Multifaker on hand. The Multifaker will just trigger the effect. There was another version where I did not run Conquery, which I did almost lose that game, but I had placed that one in the one of the replays. But yeah, typically most of the cards here are really good. We have our interruptions like Effect Veiler, Ash Blossoms, Maxis, Imperms, and our basic staples like Colbert Graves and Cross of Designators. For our consistency makers, we have here Prosperity and a copy of 1 for 1. Now you can also run a copy of Extravagance here just to get additional cards if you want. But so far Prosperity is just okay though, because it might hit one of the significant link monsters that you'll need. And of course, evenly match. Now there is another version where it is basically more of a stun type of Altergeist deck, but I don't really want to run that. Evenly Match can also be replaced with a copy of Red Reboot if in case you are dealing with trap decks as well. But so far, Evenly Match is kind of a really good board breaker, even with today's meta, with the Snake Eyes. For the extra deck, we are running with 1 copy of Dragvirion. Now you can just remove this card and then add another copy of whatever extra deck monster that you like. But so far, Dragvirion comes out from time to time if you have a starter of like Marionetter and a copy of Multifaker. So that's really a 2-card combo that you can get to the board with Dragvirion. Linkuriboh, copy of Salamangreat Almirage, 3 Hexias, 1 Phoenix, 1 copy of Hita, 2 copies of Prime Banshee, then our Bestower Flames, a copy of Ambler Whale, 1 of each Memory Gant, and a copy of Adminia, 1 copy also, and a copy last for our Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. But anyways, that is basically our deck profile, guys. Let's go towards our replays just to showcase this deck out. Okay, so let's go. Alright guys, so here we are with our game number 1. We have 1 Effect Veiler, 1 Malysik, 1 copy of Silcoidus, Colbert Grave, and a copy of Haunted Rock. Now typically this is a really bad hand, but Malysik like can instantly get us a copy of Malwis. So regardless, we're going up against a stun deck here, so that's really annoying, but it managed to like played well against a stun deck. So here we go. Our guy is gonna go for Ecclesia on the field. He'll use the effect. Luckily we have the Effect Veiler here, and then he can normal summon again because of the copy of Morganite. Now with this, we already have the Malysik, so we're just actually good here as long as he doesn't have any back row. So dark damage for Malysik and send 1 card to the graveyard, with which is the Jogan. And then main phase 2, we go for a copy of Linkuriboh, getting a copy of our Malwis from the effect of Malysik. Spell summon the Malwis and then Malysik from the graveyard to the field, and then going for a copy of Hexia here. And with that, we need to remove the Hexia on the field by going to a copy of Promethean Princess, and that is one other good card that you can go into, or a copy of Nightmare Phoenix. So with that, Hexia will grab us a copy of our Revitalization, spell summon the Hexia once more, and then going for a copy of Ambler Whale. Now this isn't the most optimal of boards, but still works well of course because we have the copy of Promethean Princess and our Revitalization plus the Haunted Rock. Now this is a really good counter against trap decks. And then we have a copy of Call to the Grave, so really good. So with that, our guys is gonna go for attack. We go for Revitalization and a copy of Haunted Rock, in case he'll use the effect of one monster. So with that, we'll summon our copy of Hextia to the field. I'm gonna go for attack. He's gonna aim for Hextia for some reason, I don't know why, but let's go for Malwis here. And then in Malwis, we'll be searching out a copy of Malasic. Our guy's gonna go for evenly matched. Luckily, we have the Haunted Rock, which, like I said earlier, a really good trap card negate. So there we go. Main phase 2 is gonna go for Ecclesia. Luckily, we have the Cold Grave that can banish and negate the effect of his very own Ecclesia in the graveyard, so that's nice. So we have 2 fodders here for our Link Summon later. Set 2 back rows, and still we can still negate the 1 card there. And with that, before he ends his turn, we go for Link Reboot, tributing the Malasic, and then getting a copy of Marionetter. A very good, nice hand here. So there we go, going for a copy of Nightmare Phoenix, and our guy is gonna go for some reason, he's gonna go for Solemn Strike there. So popping my Nightmare Phoenix, avoiding my negate and 1 pop. Regardless, it's still fine. We go for Marionetter. Our guy's gonna go for a copy of, or gonna use the effect of Punishment. Luckily, our Haunted Rock is still available for us. And with that, since we already know the trap card, and we don't, he actually used it, we can just use the effect of Marionetter here. And then, you know, combo it off. And then that's basically the game. That's game number 1. Let's go for game number 2. Alright, so for game number 2, guys, we have 1 copy of Malasic, 1 Pokery, 1 Malwisp, 1 Spoofing, and a copy of Evenly Matched. Not really like the best of hand again, but yeah, Malasic plus the Pokery is still really good. So let's start off going for Malasic to the field, and then linking off a copy into Hextia with a copy of Pokery from hand. So Hextia on the field, and with the Malasic gaining access to the 2nd copy of our Malwisp, because that's the only card that we can actually play into. Or yeah, play into. And then Malasic gaining access to the Malwisp. Malwisp will be spell summoned, spell summoning 1 other Altergeist monster from our graveyard. And then going for a copy of Prime Banshee here. With Prime Banshee here, we'll tribute it, spell summon a copy of 1 Multi-Faker from the deck. And then with the copy of Hextia gaining access to the Revitalization, which we always need to get for our opponent's turn. So right here, I almost forgot, that's why I set the spoofing. I almost forgot that we still have the Adminia, so yeah. Luckily, I did not continue ending the turn. But anyways, Adminia on the field, and then with the Hextia, let's bounce back a copy of Multi-Faker to our hand. This card will be spell summoned during your opponent's turn. And then the Adminia will set another card to the field, which is a copy of Protocol. So a really good card as well. So we have the Spoofing, the Revitalization. So during our opponent's turn, we go for Spoofing, spinning back a copy of our Malwisp, and then trading with a copy of Revitalization. Now this is really like a bad positioning for me. I should have like positioned carefully with this type of thing, or added or placed Hextia on these 3 slots here, not beneath the Adminia, because I don't want this card to be tributed, rather. So, but yeah, that's one minor mishap that I did. I almost cost me an additional like interruption, but yeah, I learned my lesson here. But we go for the effect of the Spoofing. We get a copy of Multi-Faker. Since we activated the trap card, we spell summon the Multi-Faker, and then the Multi-Faker will use the effect to spell summon 1 Altergeist monster from our deck to the field. So with that, we are good. We have 1 bounce. We have 1 control from the copy of Adminia. And then, yeah, we still have 1 spell trap card negate and 1 monster negate from the Protocol, which is kind of nice. So our guys are going to go for Super Quantum Red. We use the effect of Adminia, getting a hold of the Quantum, and then the guy's gonna use the effect of this monster here. Now I don't typically know the lines for the Infernoble, or I kind of forget, but yeah, go for Protocol, negate it. He's gonna go for a copy of Ogi here, or Ogier, and then use the effect of Sulquatus, bounce back 1 card. So since his monster was considered to be an Altergeist because of the effect of of Adminia, it was bounced back to his hand. Now, you kind of forgot the effect of the field spell because it's not really like a hard once per turn. So, yeah, he managed to use it again, and so I have to sacrifice my Sulcoitus. I know. It's a really a bad mishap on my side. So with that, our Sulcoitus will be bouncing back a copy of Revitalization. He's going to attack my Hexia. Luckily, I still have the Concuri on hand. And with that, we still have an additional Spell and Trap Negate in case he'll actually do it. So during our turn, we are free to move. That's basically it. So that's game number 2. Let's go for game number 3. Okay, so for game number 3, guys, we have 1 Pokeri, 1 Sulcoitus, 1 Marionetter, 1 Crossout, and a copy of Spoofing. Now, this is one of the earliest build that I did with the Altergeist, 2 Malwhips, and then no copy of Concuri. So that was really sad. We have a starter here. Go for Marionetter, setting a copy of Haunted Rock. Haunted Rock will be dumping 1 copy of Sulcoitus to graveyard. Use the effect of Marionetter, spell summon a copy of our very own Sulcoitus. And with that, we go into a copy of Hexia here. Sulcoitus will bounce back a copy of our trap card, which is the Haunted Rock. And then go for lastly a copy of Prime Banshee. So that we go, Prime Banshee, and go for Hexia, gaining access to our Malwisp. And then the Pokeri will be bounced back to our hand. So that's good. And then going for a copy of Malwisp. Malwisp will be activated, spell summoning to the field. At this point on, doesn't really matter if he dumps a copy of Droll and Lockbird because we don't really add additional cards at the moment because this is the last, or second to the last Link monster that we'll summon. So Prime Banshee is going to be tributing Malwisp for a copy of our Multi-Faker, and then Malwisp will be spell summoning a copy of Sulcoitus to the field. So this is the perfect position for this one. So yeah. Admin to the field, gaining access to 1 trap card to our field, and then with the Prime Banshee spinning back or bouncing back 1 Multi-Faker from the graveyard back to our hand. So with that, we have a really good board. So 1 Revitalization, a Spoofing, a copy of our Haunted Rock, which is a Trap Card Negate, a Monster Negate from the... No, we didn't get the Monster Negate, sorry, that was the Protocol. But yeah, we got 1 Bounce, 1 Control, 1 copy of Haunted Rock, which is a Trap Card Negate. And yeah, we can search out another card if ever we'll use Mulisik. So during our opponent's draw phase, we go for a copy of Spoofing here. Spinning back, like I said earlier, I was supposed to get a hold of our Concuri, which we did not have any copy. So just activating the trap card just for the effect of our Multi-Faker here. And then the Revitalization will special summon back our Hexia to the field. So there we go. Our guy's gonna go for Extravagance, drawing 1 card. He's gonna go for Unicorn, we tribute 1 Mulisik. And that's it basically. I mean, we can just even use his Unicorn for a monster. For a tribute, I mean. But yeah, we prefer just controlling it rather than sending it to the graveyard in case he has birth. So there we go. That is our board, and that is our game number 3. Let's go for our last game. Alright guys, so here we are with our last game, and I do apologize for some of the games that are like this. Like I said, this deck is kind of struggling with the current format nowadays. Especially if you're in Diamond, not every deck is a rogue deck, so majority of the decks that I'm actually going up against are Snake Eyes, Labyrinth, and even Stun deck. So it can fight from time to time, but it depends on the deck, or it depends on the cards on hand. But regardless, we are starting first. We have 1 Multi-Faker, 1 Malwisp, 1 Cold Buy, 1 Prosperity, and a copy of Spoofing. Now, take note, I used Prosperity here first. Now, I should have not dumped a copy of Jagvirion because we got a copy of Marionetter, which is a really good 2-card combo with a Multi-Faker. Sadly, our Jagvirion is banished. Regardless, it's okay. Since we activated a trap card during a turn, we special summon our Multi-Faker and then special summoning our Mulisik to the field. So Mulisik and the Multi-Faker will be special summoning the Hexia, and then Mulisik will be getting access to the Malwisp. Malwisp will be special summoned to the field, gaining access to the Multi-Faker. And with that, going for Prime Banshee. Prime Banshee will tribute 1 card. And since we already activated the effect of Multi-Faker here, I think we just choose to summon, Sulcoitus. And with that, from our Hexia, we got a copy of Revitalization. So last card will be Adminia, setting one other trap card to our field. So we already have like the 3 other Altergeist trap cards. We just need the last one, which is Protocol, I think. There we go. So we've got Protocol, 1 Multifaker on hand, so a ton of interactions at this point on. So let's start. Go for Revitalization, spell summoning our copy of Hexia. Go for Protocol in case, so that it won't be negated. Or effects are negated for face up on the field Altergeist cards. And then we use the effect of Multifaker, special summoning it to that side, and then putting the Molisic on that side right there. So our guys is gonna go for removal, use the effect of Hexia, tributing that monster there. And then use the effect of spoofing once more, spinning back a copy of Molisic. Now that was kind of like a bad choice on my part. But yeah, it's still fine. I mean, still good. We go for all clear, normal summoning a copy of Salamander, controlling it, and we go for a copy of Manifestation. And then we can still bounce back 1 card for his additional normal summon. So anyways, that is all the gameplay. It's a really nice deck, but at the moment, it's not really like the best of the best control decks because of the current format. Okay, tell me your thoughts on the new Altergeist. I really like the Altergeist deck, but yeah, hopefully this will change in the near future. So that's it for today, guys. Keep safe, good luck. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.